in the midnight grass, secrets buried deep. Every tale is a doorway, every shadow knows my name. If you dare to follow me, you step inside the strange. I am Mr. Strange, where the dark meets the real, where the ghosts of old Liverpool breathe and reveal. From the parks to the docks, where the lost souls roam. If you listen to the night, you'll know you're not alone.
Spring-Heel Jack and Tesla's Portal, a Liverpool horror story. There are some stories so strange, history tries to bury them. Stories hidden beneath official records, covered by time, burned away by ridicule. But every so often, something slips through the cracks. And when it does, people see impossible things. In Liverpool, they called it Spring-Heel Jack. But what if it wasn't a demon? What if it wasn't even a monster? What if the thing seen leaping across Liverpool rooftops was a man? A man who opened a doorway he was never meant to touch. A man named Nikola Tesla. Liverpool, 1895. The city pulsed with industry. Steamships groaned across the Liverpool docks. Factory smoke swallowed the skyline. And hidden inside a rented warehouse near the northern docks, Nikola Tesla worked in secret. Few people know Tesla traveled through Britain during this period, meeting investors and engineers. But rumors persisted for decades among dock workers that he spent time in Liverpool conducting experiments away from public attention. Experiments involving electricity, magnetism, and something far stranger. Tesla believed the human brain itself was electrical. That time, space, reality could all be bent like currents flowing through invisible wires. According to forgotten rumors, Tesla became obsessed with frequencies powerful enough to pierce the veil. Most historians dismiss the claims completely, but one surviving dock worker's diary tells a different story. The diary belonged to Thomas Rigby, a labourer from Scotland Road. His writings were discovered in 1972, hidden behind a fireplace inside a condemned Everton terrace. One passage stood out. It read, "The tall foreign gentleman says the machine will allow him to see all moments at once. He says time is not a line, but a room." On October 31st, 1895, Tesla activated the machine. Witnesses later described a violent blue glow exploding through the warehouse windows. Some claimed every gas lamp along the street flickered simultaneously. Others said they heard screaming. Not one scream, hundreds, as if voices echoed from different centuries at once. Then came silence. When workers finally entered the warehouse hours later, Tesla was gone. The machinery had melted into twisted black metal, and strange scorch marks covered the walls. Marks shaped almost like clawed footprints. That same night, Liverpool experienced its first Spring Heel Jack sighting. A police constable named Harold Whitmore encountered the figure near Everton Brow at exactly 2:17 a.m. Whitmore later claimed he saw a tall man standing completely motionless under a gas lamp. The figure wore a long, dark coat. His eyes glowed pale blue. Electrical sparks danced around his hands, and Whitmore approached cautiously. The man slowly turned. His face looked burned, stretched, almost vibrating. Then the figure smiled and vanished. Not ran, vanished, reappearing instantly atop a nearby rooftop. Whitmore watched in horror as the figure leapt nearly 30 feet across the street. Blue light burst beneath its feet during the jump, like electricity exploding from the ground. The constable later wrote, "I believe I witnessed not witchcraft, but science beyond God." Over the following weeks, sightings spread across Liverpool, Everton, Kirkdale, Scotland Road, St. James's Cemetery. Every witness described similar details: glowing blue eyes, crackling noises, the smell of burning metal, and impossible leaps. But there was something else, something even stranger. Many witnesses claimed the creature seemed confused, disorientated, as if it wasn't fully aware of where or when it was. One woman reported hearing the figure muttering numbers repeatedly. Another claimed it spoke out about the future wars and machines in everybody's pocket. Things impossible for Victorians to understand. Then came the church incident. The one Liverpool never forgot. St. Francis Xavier's Church, 1888. Or perhaps not 1888 at all, because according to the new theory, time itself had become unstable around Tesla's machine. People may not have been seeing a creature traveling through Liverpool. They may have been seeing a man trapped between moments. A man appearing across different years simultaneously. Witnesses gathered outside the church after reports of a glowing figure standing atop the church tower during heavy rain. Witnesses described blue electricity crackling around his body. The thing moved strangely, its limbs bending too sharply, too quickly. Then somebody shouted, "That's not a man." The creature turned towards the crowd and smiled. Not a human smile, something else pretending. Then it leapt, clearing an impossible distance before vanishing into the darkness. Some claimed they heard laughter echoing across the rooftops afterwards. Others claimed they heard screaming, not from the creature, from somewhere far away, as though another voice was trapped behind reality itself, trying to get through. Modern day Liverpool, 2026. A paranormal researcher named Daniel Cross became obsessed with the Tesla theory after discovering burned documents hidden inside an antique desk drawer. Bought in Toxteth. Inside were fragmented journal pages supposedly written by Tesla himself. One line appeared repeatedly. It learned me. Daniel believed the real Tesla survived somehow, trapped on the opposite side of the portal, watching helplessly while the other version replaced him. Then Daniel discovered something even worse. The portal may have never have fully closed. Electrical disturbances around Liverpool had increased dramatically in recent years. Street cameras glitching, phones freezing, power surges near Everton and the old Docklands, and always accompanying the disturbances, sightings of a tall figure. Daniel decided to investigate the abandoned warehouse site beneath the old dock routes. Locals warned him not to go in alone. He ignored them. That decision ruined his life. Daniel entered the underground structure just after midnight, carrying cameras and EMF equipment. At first, everything seemed normal. Collapsed brickwork, rusted metal, floodwater. Then, his equipment activated violently. Every reading spiked beyond maximum levels, and somewhere deep in the darkness he heard breathing. Not human breathing, wet, slow, expectant. Then came the voice, soft at first, speaking perfect English.
You should not have come here.
Daniel spun around. The figure stood at the far end of the tunnel. Tall, thin, eyes glowing electric blue. Its face flickered strangely between expressions, almost unstable, like multiple identities struggling beneath one skin. Daniel whispered, "Are you Tesla?" The thing tilted its head, then smiled. Without reply, Daniel later claimed the creature began walking towards him without moving its legs normally, almost gliding. The tunnel lights exploded one by one as it approached. Pop, pop, pop. Darkness swallowing the corridor behind it. Then Daniel heard another voice, weak and distant, coming from nowhere. "Run." A second face suddenly appeared beneath the creature's skin. For one horrifying second, Daniel saw another man's face trapped inside it, screaming silently, pushing against the thing wearing him like clothing. The vision vanished. The creature lunged. The camera feed cut instantly. Daniel survived barely. Police found him wandering near Everton. 3 days later, barefoot and incoherent. Now here is where the story becomes truly terrifying, because personally, I don't think Spring-Heel Jack was ever supernatural. Not in the traditional sense. I believe Nikola Tesla accidentally opened something far worse than a portal. I believe he opened a connection to another dimension, a parallel reality, a place where alternate versions of ourselves exist. Not identical copies, different evolutions, different outcomes. Some perhaps more advanced, others far darker. And I believe the thing that entered Liverpool in 1895 was an alternate Tesla. One whose world had already crossed lines ours never dared to touch. Think about the descriptions people gave of Spring-Heel Jack throughout Liverpool. The glowing blue lights, the impossible leaps, the metallic sounds, the the strange crackling electricity surrounding him. Victorian witnesses called it demonic because they had no frame of reference for advanced technology. But what if they weren't seeing magic? What if they were seeing equipment, technology, centuries ahead of its time? This alternate Tesla may have created some kind of an electromagnetic propulsion device attached to his own body, something allowing massive leaps by manipulating magnetic force or compressed electrical bursts. Witnesses constantly described the blue flashes beneath him before he jumped. That's important. Almost like energy discharge, like a machine building pressure before its release. Even stranger, many reports mention his landings sounding metallic rather than human, heavy, mechanical. Perhaps part of the suit itself absorbing the impact, allowing him to survive jumps no normal human body could endure. To Victorians, it would have looked impossible, supernatural. But to an inventor from another dimension, maybe it was simply science, far beyond ours. And then there's the behavior, the confusion, the aggression. The way witnesses said he sometimes appeared fascinated before ordinary objects, almost as if he was studying our world while trying to survive inside it. But I think the most chilling part is this. I don't believe he was trapped here forever, because decades later something eerily similar happened again, this time in New York. In 1917, strange rumors spread among the dock workers near the Brooklyn waterfront. Official records barely mention the incident. Most references vanished mysteriously. But according to fragmented newspaper reports and urban legends, a warehouse explosion occurred later at night near one of Tesla's experimental storage facilities. Witnesses described violent blue electrical flashes erupting from inside the building. Some claimed the sky itself glowed. Others reported hearing screaming mixed with mechanical noises. When authorities entered the scene, they allegedly found melted machinery fused into the walls, copper coils twisted into impossible shapes, burn marks identical to those reportedly seen in Liverpool decades earlier. And according to dock workers nearby, a tall figure in a dark coat was seen fleeing across the rooftops moments before the explosion, leaping impossibly far between buildings, trailing blue sparks behind him. Sound familiar? Almost exactly like Liverpool, almost exactly like Spring-Heeled Jack. Now here's the theory that keeps me awake at night. What if the alternate Tesla eventually repaired the technology needed to reopen the dimensional breach? What if the machine discovered in New York wasn't an experiment, but an escape attempt? Because after the New York incident, the classic Spring-Heeled Jack sighting dramatically decreased worldwide, almost as though whatever entered our world finally left, and maybe the real Tesla briefly returned afterwards. That might explain why later in life Tesla became increasingly paranoid, obsessed with frequencies, signals, invisible energies. He repeatedly claimed he was receiving transmissions from elsewhere, Most historians dismiss these statements as eccentricity, but maybe he wasn't rambling. Maybe he was terrified. Terrified the doorway could reopen. Terrified the other version might come back. Or worse, that something else might follow next time. And if parallel worlds truly exist, who's to say there was only one breach? Maybe there are many others. Maybe certain places weaken the barrier naturally. Liverpool, New York, old tunnels, power stations, areas flooded with electromagnetic energy. Perhaps that's why sightings still happen, because echoes remain, fragments bleeding through. People still report seeing tall figures during electromagnetic storms, still report blue glowing eyes, still hear tapping above rooftops late at night. And maybe those aren't ghosts. Maybe they're glimpses, brief overlaps between worlds, moments where reality becomes thin enough for something else to look back at us. So the next time you hear the legend of Spring-Heeled Jack, don't picture a devil, don't picture a ghost, picture something much worse. A man brilliant enough to tear open reality itself, and a thing that stepped through wearing his face. I am Mr. Strange, and this has been another tale from Liverpool's haunted past.